Okay, now we've shown how to grade a film to another film. We've also shown how we can grade a film against a Photoshop file that we've added some levels and curves and color balance to. What about images? What about just normal pictures? Can we grade one picture against another? So let's have a go with that. I'm just going to pick up an image to work with. I'm going to pick something very simple, this raw file. So I'm just going to go into Lightroom, and this is the file I want to use. I'm going to export it out of Lightroom. So File, Export, and to a specific folder. So I'm going to choose my desktop, images, choose, and export this to JPEG at 1500 pixels. That's good. And we'll just go back into Speedgrade and just refresh the images. And you can see now we have the same image in Speedgrade. So let's take this image and put it onto the timeline. I'm going to put it there at the start of the timeline. And now I'm going to go and get a shot to match it with. So let's pick up a shot by Julian Cost. Let's have a look at this shot. So I'm just moving to color mode, and I'm going to pick up the double playhead and move the double playhead to where it needs to be. You can see here now that we have this mountain that Juliet took in Iceland, and I want to see if I can pull the colors out and put them into this chap and see what happens when I do that. So remember, I need to tell the playhead which one's going to transfer the color grade, where it's going to receive. I also need to make sure my look tab has got the primary layer associated with it and nothing else is in there, no auto matching. So I'm going to put the playhead to the image that we're going to take the grade to. In this case, it's the first one, which is this chap here, and the second playhead is referring to this image here. And notice I've got the grading turned on so I can see the grade in the window, and let's transfer that across. Now that may have not been the best choice to make. Let's reverse that and see what happens. I'm just going to back off that change with Command Z, and then I'm going to choose number 2. So I'm going to take the grade now from number 1, which is the baker, over to the mountains, and switch that over, and then press the grade. It's taken all of the skin tone colours and the blues and the dark areas and made this image look very interesting. Let's just take that grade out and see what it looks like in Photoshop. So go to my colour match, export this look, I'm going to call it JK1, and export the look. So now we turn things around, let's go into Photoshop and open Julian's image, which is this one, which is just a screen grab. We have the image here, and let's say layer, new adjustment layer, color lookup, and we point to the LUT. Now I did forget to unzip it, so let's go and unzip that. And you can see we've unzipped it. We can pick the look up and apply the look. Now you can see we've got a very different look and feel to this image. Let's try some other things. Okay, so let's have some more fun with this and see what else we can do. So here's an image I got from Behance. It's a chemigram from someone that I know. And so I've got permission to use this. It's very important to make sure you have. And so let's go and pick up something else out of Behance as well. And I've got my eye on something that I've seen a few times now. So let me just go over to Behance. I'm going to go on to look at people who are following me. So let's have a look at my connections, and I'm going down to Glyn. Let's pick up on Glyn, and Glyn's got this image that I saw that I quite like the look of, this one here. What I want to do is take this image as my final piece, but I want to color grade it with the chemigram. So let's take this. I've got permission again from Glyn, and he's happy that I do this. And you can see now here is my picture. So let's just put that into this folder as well. Let's go into Speedgrade and match those two up. So now we're in Speedgrade. I'm just going to close this, delete this timeline. And now I'm going to go back to my media panel and bring some more media in. So let's have a look and just refresh that. And you can see here there's my screenshot that I want to use. So drag the screenshot over into the timeline and drop it in the timeline there. Now the chemigram I had was over here, so let's just drop this into the timeline as well, and let's move to the color. This needs to be on the same timeline. Okay, so let's create two up, and let's move the playhead to the start of the image so you can see both images are there. And go to my looks, and you can see I've got my primary enabled, which is good. I want to take now the chemigram over to Glyn's image over here. So to do that, I need to work out which one I'm on. So let's just move this out of the way, and you can see this one is Glyn's image. So let's turn on number 2 by clicking on 2 and activate the second playhead, and that clip's activated now, and we're going to take the grade from this one over onto this one. We're just going to push the grade button, and you can see there that it's taken the chemigram look and put it over onto Glyn's image. Okay, so let's do a few other things. Let's take Julienne's image and see what happens if we do that one. Let's take the green one over here, and let's put that onto the timeline. Let's move the second playhead over to here, and let's match these two shots. So match the Julienne's image over to Glyn's image. And you can see there that now we've got a very different look and feel. Let's go backwards in time, and let's just move these around. Highlight number 1. We're going to transfer now Glyn's look over to Julienne's look. See what happens there. Let's try something else. Let's go to Behance and pick up another artist that I know. And that artist is going to be John Moore's image. I've had a chat with John. He's more than happy for me to take one of his Scottish landscape series. I like this one particularly, so I'm just going to select it, and I'm just going to mark it, and I'm just going to drag a marquee around there and going to put it into the right folder. Here's the screenshot, and we're going to put it over here, and we're going to go to the images and pick up John's shot. So let's drag John's shot into the timeline. Over here, say. Let's move the playhead over. Let's go to the color tab, and let's take the green image and apply it to Julienne's image. So we need playhead number 2 is going to be looking at John's image, and then we have Julienne's image. So let's just take the grade from John's image over to Julienne's image, and you can see there that now I've applied a different look and feel. Let's just reverse that around. Let's put John's image on Glyn's image. So make sure that we have the playhead that we want to associate with. This one is the shot I want to match to. This one I want to take it from, and let's try and see what happens. And you can see there that I've taken all of the green and all the highlights and tones from John's image, from his great landscape image, and put it onto Glyn's image. Let's do something else. Let's pick up this Julienne's image again, drop it into the timeline, and let's take this black and white image that I really quite like, and let's see if we can match those two. So bring up another playhead and move the second playhead to the right position, and you can see there that the second playhead is this side, the first playhead is this side. I want to take the black and white over to Julienne's image. So I just keep my playhead where it is, number 1, make sure it's highlighted, and then send that across. I'm going to take off my colour match because that's in the way. I'm just going to create a primary channel and take the colour match and delete it and switch them. And you can see I've got a really cool black and white. Now I really like that, so let's just take this colour look out. So again, just to practice a bit more, take out the colour match using this little icon here, and then we export the look. I'm going to export and export this called JK2 and just make sure that I unzip it. And I go to Photoshop. I'm going to open that file again. And this time I'm going to go to color adjustment, color lookup, and pick up JK2, look file, and there you have a really edgy black and white look and feel. Now what's really interesting is that what if I take this color lookup and put it on a different image? So let's open another image in Photoshop and apply the same color lookup. Let's take this one for a second and see what happens. If I open this image here, I'm going to make this a bit bigger so you can see. Color lookup, load the LUT. The LUT is a JK2, and you can see, now that's probably a little bit too much, but what I could do of course is just change the opacity and dial it down a little bit. I'm creating my own looks now from matching images to other images. Let's go a bit more crazy. Okay, let's just take an image over here that I really quite like. I have this on my phone, I really quite like it. I got it from Cover. Drag it to the timeline. I'm trying to work on images that I don't have any information from. I have no context whatsoever. They've not been through Photoshop, they've just been taken from the web. I want to show you how flexible this is at matching the colours. That's the reason why I'm not using my own images and the ones through Behance. So I move to the colour and you can see there that I'm parked on this one. I need to make it the playhead. And now you can see, I'm just going to drag this over to the place where I want to transfer. And you can see now I've got the playhead number 2 is Glenn's and the playhead number 1 is this one here. So I'm going to take the grade over from 1 to 2, so I'll mark 2, and then send the grade. And you can see now I get a really cool effect. Let's take this image, which is another separate image, and let's try converting this one to Glenn's image. So let's just move this into the right place. Okay, so let's try this set of images. Let's take this image and move it to Glenn's image. So let's just switch from number 2, because number 2 is the desert, number 1 is Glenn's. Let's move this across and let's send the grade from here over to this side. And you can see I get another tone. Let's reverse that around. Let's me back off that and let me switch it so that Glenn's image will go across to the desert. So highlight number 2 and send the grade. And you can see there that I get another grade over here as well. Let's take the grade that we had on this image into one of Glenn's images and see what happens, because this grade was created for this image. The difference between the grade and where it was going to will be different if I take it to another image. So let's say File, Open, and let's go into Glenn's image, this one. Now let's apply the look to Glenn's from the one that was matched with Julianne's. Color lookup, 3D LUT, JK2. And there we have a very cool black and white element to this image. I'm very excited about the possibilities of converting and matching colours using Speedgrade. So for example, you could go out and take a picture of a painting in a gallery somewhere and then bring that back and match that shot with an image of yours to have the same tonal range that that image has got, or the same colour range that image has got. So I hope you enjoyed that, and see you next time. Thank you.